Okay, write down 13. Write down the number 13. 1, 3. Write down the number 13. 1, 3. So far, this year, there have been 13 weeks that have passed. 13 weeks. 13 sales meetings. 13 weeks that you did a perfect week of blitzing. 13 weeks where you did all the prospecting and things that you wanted to do and needed to do. 13 weeks where you went on at least 13 appointments. I wrote down here, during those first weeks, we outlined what we wanted to accomplish in 2015. Our goals, our dreams, the things that we wanted to do, and the activities. So here's the question. Are you where you plan to be right now so far? Are you where you plan to be so far? That's number one. Number two, are you happy with your effort over those last 13 weeks? Are you happy with the effort that you put out? And are you happy with the results? Are you happy with the results? Maybe it's not in your plan. Maybe you aren't where you plan to be, but for the effort that you put out, you're happy with it. Maybe that's possible. All right? So I wrote down here, I'm always studying what makes great salespeople. And the question is, what makes winners winners? What makes winners winners? We set our goals. We decided what we wanted to do. We started on the path. But there's some people so far in the first 13 weeks that have a spectacular first quarter, right? Say yes. Yes. And there are some agents in the first 13 weeks that had something less than a spectacular 13 weeks. So what makes a winner a winner? So I wrote down here, if someone has achieved more than you, it's not usually because they are better or smarter than you are. Make a note of that. If someone has done better than you so far in the 13 weeks, it's not necessarily because they're better than you or smarter than you. My experience has been it's because they found a strategy that works for them. It's because they found a strategy that works for them. Now, maybe someone told them the strategy. Maybe they went to a seminar and they got the strategy. Maybe they went and read a book and the book told them the strategy. Maybe they internally knew that this would work if they did these activities. But it worked for them because what they did was they worked the strategy and they got the results that they were looking for. So what's the strategy that we need to be looking at? What's the thing that we need to be working on?
Stay on the schedule.
Stay on the schedule. Okay, what else?
Preview property.
Sorry?
Preview property.
Preview property. Good. That's part of the strategy. What else? Prospect. Okay, what else?
Attitude.
Attitude. So along with all of this, having a good attitude. What else?
Mindset. Lead follow-up.
Lead follow-up. What else?
Mindset.
Mindset. Good. What else?
Get in front of more people.
Get in front of more people. Good.
Learn how to close the deal.
Learn how to close a deal. So learn how to identify a deal and then learn how to close it. Good. Okay, what else? Pre-qualify them. Good. Okay, go ahead, Tess. Be disciplined and consistent. Okay, good. I like everything. Okay? I think everything you said is great. I wrote down some commonalities of successful people. So why don't you take a couple of notes on that? Commonalities of successful people. I think we've touched on some of them. The first one I wrote down here, successful people are better trained. They understand the importance of spending time learning. Question. In the last 13 weeks, how many books have you read? How much time have you spent learning? How many hours have you dedicated to your scripts and dialogues? How many properties did you preview? All of that is part of the learning process, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. So successful people spend time learning, and they understand the value of learning. The number 2 point, they focus on their goals, and they know that their goals and their direction needs to be crystal clear for their life. What do they want from this year? When do they want it by? Why do they want it? What do they want? When do they want it? And most importantly, why do they want it? What's important about that goal? The third commonality in successful people is they have a high desire to achieve. They're driven to success, and they will not be denied. See, a successful person, look around to your left and your right, you see people all the time who are successful. They will not be denied. You can't stop them from you can't stop them from being on the phones when they need to be on the phones. You can't stop them from previewing property. You're not going to sway them by long lunches. They're going to get their job done. Every day, every week, every month. They understand that the last 13 weeks was important in terms of activities as it will be in the next 13 weeks. And the last 13 weeks really was a result of the 13 weeks that was before that. That was October, November, and December. Remember those months? Well, last quarter was in large part a large result of what you did in the last quarter of 2014. This quarter, starting Wednesday, is going to be in large part what you did in the first quarter of 2015. Putting one foot in front of the other. They focus on their goals, they have crystal clear direction, and they have a high desire to achieve it. I wrote down number 4. We talked about this. Somebody brought this up earlier. They have discipline. They get up early. They do their job. They stay with it until it's done. There's a concept. My goal is to preview 5 properties today. If I do 3, I'll be happy. Anybody relate to that?
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Geez, if I could just get 2 done. Neil wants me to do a 5-5-10. If I could do a 1-1-1, I'd be thrilled. If I did a 2-2-2, I'd be elated. And if I ever got to a 5-5-10, it'd be amazing. One of the biggest commonalities of successful people in any walk of life is the discipline. Getting up in the morning, getting out of bed, working out, studying on your scripts and dialogues, getting to the gym or coming back from the gym and going to the role play, doing your role play, your affirmations, moving up to your prospecting, doing your prospecting or your previewing, or going to see your expires. Doing that and not letting anything get in the way. If your life depended on it, God forbid this happened, but if it did, today, could you get a 5-5 done? Could you do a 5-5-10 today? Yes. Hello?
Yes.
Why don't you? Because, write this down, you have too many options. You could get it done. Absolutely could get it done. And yet, only a few of you will. And yet, most of us know that if we did it, it would reap rewards for us today. It's actually one of the best thing you could spend your time doing, which is previewing property, going to see some expireds, and door knocking 10 around each one of them. What else would you do that would be better? Except going on a listing appointment that maybe you created because of doing that. That'd be better. But after you did the 5-5-10. So did I talk about discipline yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, point 5. Yeah, not yet. They do things that they have to be done even though they don't want to do it. Write that down. They do things that have to be done even though they don't want to do it. I did not want to go to the gym yesterday. I did not want to hire that coach. I knew I would be sore today. Walking in this office hurt this morning. I didn't want to. Okay? And yet, I know that in order for me to do what I need to do, to be at the level I need to be for you on a regular basis, I need to do that to do this. Can you guys get that?
Yes.
I have to. If I don't have the energy, if I don't have the excitement, if I don't have the enthusiasm, if I didn't take the time to write this, to study it, to put it down, to practice it, to be able to present it to you, then I'm not doing my job for you at the highest level possible. Some of you come here right now today, or in this room, because of this energy. I cannot fail you. You cannot fail your people that are depending on you. You depend on me, your people depend on you. What are you going to do about it? And what would you expect from me? What would you think of me if I walked in here? Oh, shit, my legs are killing me. Jeez. Do you know how tough it was just walking up the curb? The curb, 6 inches, killed. I had to go up backwards. The curb was horrible. Do you know what I'm talking about, right? Yes. Okay? The first day of exercise after you haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing, okay, you get off track, things happen. It happens. It happens to me. But you get back on it and you do it. And then you come in here and do what you're supposed to do because you expect it of me, and your loved ones expect it of you. Remember I said you're either an example or you're a warning. You're either an example in life or you're a warning. Example or a warning. What do you want to be? An example in life or a warning in life? Next point. Superstars or successful people have strong commitments to learning how to handle objections. We're all going to get objections. We're all going to get reasons why you can't do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. But we need to take time to learn that. We need to take time to practice it. I wrote down here, these are only successful people. They have a willingness to get out of their comfort zones. They get comfortable, listen to what I'm saying, being uncomfortable. It is not, I am not comfortable right now. Okay? Not. Like I said, a 6-inch curb hurts. But I have to get comfortable being uncomfortable so that I can go to the next level, so that I can help you go to your next level, so that we can have this amazing time. I'm telling you, the first quarter was good. For some agents, it was phenomenal. For some agents, it was a phenomenal first quarter. For some, not so much. But the second quarter, The opportunities that are out there for us right now are spectacular. 2015 is going to be one of the best years we've ever had in the real estate business. I'm here to tell you that. That's a fact, okay? Now you can either take advantage of it, do what you need to do when you're supposed to do it, and have the opportunities and make the money and have that, or not. That's up to you. But it's going to be a spectacular year. I wrote down here, superstars replace old habits with new and productive ones. I wrote down, yes, previewing is boring, yet they do it anyway. Yeah, preview is boring. Previewing is boring. But superstars do it anyway. I wrote down here, superstars have a detailed plan and they follow it. What's your plan and are you following it? What's your plan and are you following it? I had to give Mike Ferry a detailed plan today of things that we're doing different in the second quarter that we didn't do and didn't get done or didn't accomplish in the first quarter. It's conversations that we've had with you. What did you do in the first quarter? Where are you? And what are your goals for the second quarter? Anybody hear that before?
Yes.
Yeah. Those are the conversations you're having from us. That's what you need to do. And you need to be honest and see what you did last quarter. Because some of us get into our heads and we think, wow, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty cool. I did whatever it is you did. You could have had a great quarter and only closed one deal, but it would have been a big deal. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's only one deal. So maybe we need to do lots of deals and get the results and reap that benefit. Do you guys get where I'm going with this? Tough audience. Superstars set time deadlines and don't quit on them. Superstars set time deadlines and don't quit on them. Superstars set time deadlines and don't quit on them. Why is it we don't do what we're supposed to do when we're supposed to do it? Any ideas?
No one watching.
No one watching? Okay, good, great. What else?
Get sidetracked.
You get sidetracked, okay.
Complacency.
Complacency, good.
You think you have time.
You think you have time. You think there's still time, okay? You see, interesting, I kid you guys all the time. That's a great point. All of them are really good. But this one I want to focus on for a second, for just a moment. I kid you and say Christmas is coming, right? Ha ha, Christmas is coming. It's coming! It really is. And because we think it's way out there, that we don't have to deal with it today. So if I don't do what I'm supposed to do today being March 30th, I think? 30th, tomorrow's 31st, right. So, okay, if I don't do the numbers I'm supposed to do, and I didn't call the people I'm supposed to do, etc., I still have 9 more months, 10, 11, 12, right, 9 more months. So if I blow up today, I still have tomorrow plus 9 months. Get it? Yeah. I have plenty of time. Anyone ever suffer from that besides me sometimes? Think about that. But the truth is, we don't. We have to create some urgency in our life. We must create some urgency in our life. The next thought is superstars are always looking for ways to expand their thinking. I have this conversation with you. It's probably some of the most important information I can give you in any day, week, quarter, year of the year, at any time. If you are the richest, smartest person you are hanging around, you have got to find some new friends. It doesn't mean you have to leave the old friends totally behind. But what happens is you get complacent with who and where you are. So if you're in a group of people who you are as wealthy as or as smart as, how do you grow? Who's pulling you up? You're getting comfortable. Let me share with you. This was really a blinding flash of the obvious for me. I just really realized this in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Success causes complacency. The more successful I am, the more complacent I become. It's the creator of complacency. So think about it. As we get successful, we tend to what? Back off the pedal slightly. When you have enough money in the bank to take care of your closings for the next month or 2 or 3, if you have enough money in the bank to take care of your expenses for the next 2 or 3 months, you tend to think, come on everybody, it's happened to all of us. You take you sigh a relief. Okay, I'm covered for the next couple of months. Okay, hear me? That's complacency. When you do that, that's complacency. Because you're backing off the pedal slightly. And if you back off the pedal slightly today, and then you get another listing or a sale, you back off the pedal a little bit more. Then what happens after you back the pedal off a little bit too much, and then you start to coast a little bit, and then you start to come out of momentum, and when you come in out of momentum, is it hard or easy to get back into momentum? Yes or no? Hard. It's tough. It's really tough to get into momentum. So I wrote down here, this week matters. Write it down. This week matters. We all have 168 hours in the week. Do you know that? Every one of us has the same 168 hours. Some people achieve an enormous amount in those 168 hours. Some don't. But we all have 168. Doesn't sound like very much, does it? Okay? Well, we all have the same 168 hours. What are you going to do with your 168? What are you going to do with your 168 this week? So I wrote down here, some do little more than eat and sleep. It's true. We all have the 168. But some people do nothing more than eat or sleep. So my question is, how are you going to spend the 168? How are you going to spend your 168 this week? How's that going to be different? How will you spend them? What changes are you going to make in your 168 hours this week? I wrote down here, don't worry about what you haven't done. Let's worry about what we could do with the time we have. I wrote down the question, how many 5-5-10s will you complete? Write that down. Here's a question. Will you complete a 5-5-10 this week? Yes or no? That's all we need. Write it down. Yes or no. I don't need to know. Don't commit it to me. Yes or no? Are you going to do a 5-5-10? Question, will you participate in the phone blitz this week? And will you stay the entire time? Whatever your phone blitz is, whether it's Walnut or Brea or Irvine or in Covina, will you stay and commit the whole time, beginning to end? Will you show up on time? That's another one. It's a commitment to be there on time and work through it. I wrote down here, what scripts will you commit to learning this week? You guys are getting better. There's a little bit more room for growth here. What scripts are you going to be working on? Because it's your choice. What are you going to do with these 168 hours? So my challenge to you is let's go out and make them the most productive 168 hours that you've ever done in the history of working 168 hours. All right, let's go make it happen. Thank you. Turn it up a little bit, please.